Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run through the weather warnings as we have got multiple yellow warnings issued over the next few days, so we are going to see areas of heavy rain in places. Parts of eastern Scotland have got a yellow warning for perhaps some persistent rainfall. We're seeing a bit of that through today as that warning is in force, and as we head through the weekend we could see some more heavy rain across southern England, particularly sort of M4 line southwards, as we are going to see some quite decent instability for the time of year. We could even see some thunderstorms developing in places, especially towards that south coast. So have a look at that from the latest weather warnings. We'll have a look at the latest UKV as well, which does give us the temperatures and the precipitation over the course of the next 5 days. Because as we head into next working week, things could start to turn exceptionally unsettled. As we have seen over the last couple of videos, there is the risk of some extremely stormy weather in places from around next Wednesday, Thursday time onwards, and some of the longer range charts we do get out into early November are showing some really lively systems. And again, a lot of these runs are showing storm systems that would most likely have yellow and even amber warnings issued with it, and probably would be named as well. So some real severe systems coming up, and not only are they going to be rain events, but these storms could potentially be high wind events as well. Something we didn't really get with Storm Babet. We did a little bit in Scotland and towards the east coast, but was more of a rain event. Storms coming potentially next week into the following weekend could be the full package. Heavy rainfall and extremely strong winds. And we'll have a look at that in detail in the second half of the video. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. And remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now, if you start on the live radar, we've got sort of a few areas of interest at the moment across eastern Scotland. We've got heavy rain moving in. It's nowhere near as widespread and severe as we have seen over the past couple of weeks, but nevertheless heavy enough in places to warrant a yellow warning, and that rainfall just coming in off a slight easterly breeze along much of northern and eastern coastal areas. Further westwards and southwards, we've got showers around, which are heaviest out to sea, but some of them are coming further inland and losing their intensity. But you can see out across France, towards the Channel Islands, we've got some real severe showers and some thunderstorms developing as instability builds, and this could impact southern England through tomorrow as this does move in. So do be aware, through tomorrow it's going to be very hit and miss, but there could be some real quite lively thundery showers as we head, as I said, into Saturday. The temperatures as we head into the early afternoon and evening are generally around average for the time of year, around those low teens mark, and that's been pretty stationary over the last few days and will be pretty stationary over the next couple of days. But as we head into next week, as we have alluded to, temperatures will be cooling down as those storms start to arrive in from the west. We could see some colder air coming in, nothing significant, but below average, cooling things down more towards maybe the high single digits for many. Now, if you look at the latest weather warnings, you can see we've got two warnings at the moment. We've got yellow warning across eastern Scotland that's issued or started yesterday, Thursday, and expires tomorrow at 6 p.m. Again, persistent and occasional heavy rain may lead to some travel disruption and some flooding. As you can see here, it's high impact, rising in likelihood, and again 20 to 40 millimetres, perhaps 50 to 100 millimetres in a few spots. There is the risk an amber warning could be issued, but I do think it would have been issued by now if it was going to change. You can see it has been updated today, a separate warning issued now for Sunday and Monday, so splitting the warning up there. So it could be upgraded, but at the time being a yellow warning, again falling to very saturated ground, could be some issues. Across the east coast of Northern Ireland from today until tomorrow at 6 p.m, frequent heavy showers may cause some flooding. So really heavy showers, 10 millimetres of rain is possible within an hour, 30 to 40 millimetres. It's very high likelihood but low impact. It's highly likely we'll see showers, but very uncertain how impactful they will be. So just one to be aware of, but I wouldn't be worried about it too much. Into Saturday, we've got those two warnings still, but we've got this warning across southern and eastern areas, again, for rain, and it starts tonight and then expires Sunday. So the whole weekend for the southeast of England, and again, it's been updated to push the warning time to the end of Sunday as further heavy showers likely to affect the area. You see here, after a wet week, further heavy and at times thundery showers, as we have alluded to, will merge into longer spells of rain for a time between early Saturday and Sunday morning. Many parts of the warning area will see 15 to 30 millimetres, while the wettest spots, most likely towards the English Channel coast, could see 50 to 70 millimetres. Also some strong gusty winds, 45 to 55 miles per hour. High impact, low likelihood. It's one of those where, because it's convective in nature, there's a lot of showers forming, the likelihood it can't really be too high. So this is one of those where it could be upgraded to an amber at very short notice if the systems do line up and the showers do turn very severe at short notice. So we'll have to wait and see, but the time being, yellow warning issued. Into Sunday, the same warnings issued, and finally into Monday, we've got that Eastern Scotland warning actually been updated on Sunday, again 6 a.m. on Sunday until midnight on Monday. It's pretty much covering a very similar region, but extended slightly further southwards. But here for 20 to 40 millimetres, with 50 to 80 millimetres in a few spots, and again could see some stronger winds. Now these are all warnings issued for generally unsettled weather we're going to see over the next few days. We wouldn't normally see warnings issued for this sort of weather, but it's because we have so much rain over the past couple of weeks with such saturated ground. Any severe or high rainfall rates does cause issues very quickly. But this, as I said, it's just just generally unsettled weather. Real proper stormy stuff has not even come into the sort of shorter range radar yet. That is coming potentially next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the first couple of days of November. So I don't want to get that mixed up. This is not the stormy weather that we're going to be talking about in a minute. This is sort of just the preliminary, generally autumnal, unsettled weather we are seeing. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, we'll just about be able to touch early November and start to see stormy weather developing. But nothing too significant yet. It's more in that 5 to 10 day time frame. But we've had to see the heavy rain over this weekend. You can see through today, heavy showers around, but nothing too significant. Those showers across Northern Ireland and Eastern Scotland again. Pretty persistent, but nothing too severe. Just severe in places, warranting that warning. Into tomorrow, you can start to see those heavy showers forming in the south, drifting much further inland through Saturday afternoon. A small area of low pressure developing within this that we have been highlighting over the past week or so, really. And we thought it could be more severe in terms of wind, but it's turned more into a more of a heavy rain and a thundery sort of event. And you can see those dark oranges and reds forming. That's where you see some real torrential rainfall rates and potentially some thunderstorms. That spreads in and continues to spiral around, giving heavy rain in quite a few areas. And then through Sunday, progresses in towards Scotland, and then more heavy thundery showers into the southeast through Sunday evening, giving, again, a very unsettled weekend. And then as we head into Wednesday, look at this, big weather fronts arriving from the Atlantic, the preliminary signs of things turning a lot more stormy. Again, centre of low still out to the west, but the initial warm front spreading in here. You can see that with the warm sector here, showing the initial signs of quite unsettled conditions, very stormy weather approaching. You can see to the north, though, that colder air that's trying to move in, and that's going to be the cold air that's generally going to give a relatively chilly first week to November. Yes, there will be warm sectors around, like we see in the south here, but they will be short-lived with the cold air dominating a bit more. I do just want to have a look at the mixed level cape. As you can see, as we head into tomorrow, there could be some moderate cape around, especially out across the channel, and it could spread inland at times. Nothing crazy, nothing compared to the summer months, but for middle to the end of October, really, it could cause some issues. Just wanted to highlight that there is the real possibility of some thunderstorms in places, but I'm not suspecting anything too severe. I have seen reports there are high levels of shear, things like that, so there could be some severe impacts within the showers and storms. But from the looks of this, it could be lively in places, but we're not expecting anything major to be too widespread. If you look at the max temperatures today, again, average low teens, really. As we progress into Saturday, pretty similar story. Again, low teens is the most likely scenario, maybe high single digits further northwards. Into Sunday, cold air does start to spread in for Scotland, so more towards the mid-single digits. The south, still 13, 14, but into Monday, more the north is starting to get into that colder air, more into the single digits there. The south, maybe just about touching 14, 15 degrees. Frosts across Scotland now as we head into the last couple of days of October. And again, quite a stark contrast, that cold air developing and building in the north, just about average air holding on in the south there. And you can see a really harsh frost into next Wednesday as we see that cold air in the north. And again, that cold air, it's not going to reach southern areas, or it's not going to reach it in anywhere near as capacity as it's going to reach Scotland and impact Scotland. But what it is going to do is it's going to feed into the backside of these low pressure systems and really spin them up. That is something that could cause some issues. So if you now have a look at the latest GFS, this is the latest run only just coming out, so I haven't even had a look at this, and it only goes out to 276 hours at the moment. As I said, it is just updating. So this is the latest data we have from the GFS model, and you can see gently low pressure dominating through this weekend with some blocking across Iceland that is allowing that cold air to filter in. But you can see nothing too severe over the next few days. Gently low pressure, nothing too deep in the isobars, not particularly tight. Compare that though to middle to the end of next working week. By Tuesday and Wednesday, deeper lows are approaching, but they're still out to our west. And look at this, as we head into Thursday and Friday, severe low pressure systems arrive with significant rainfall and severe gusty winds. As you can see, those isobars are extremely tight together, moving through the centre of the British Isles, continue to spiral in. And beyond that, into the weekend, we see another low skirt the south. So it's not just one storm system, it's multiple storm systems in a generally very unsettled period, all the way to beyond day 10 here. So there is the risk of multiple named storms within this. Again, I wouldn't take one run as gospel, as the different runs are showing broadly the same pattern, but distinctly different intensities and timings of the individual low pressure systems. But you can see here, Thursday, or at least Wednesday here, initial low pressure moves in, nothing too significant. Wednesday into Thursday, another severe low moves in, and then another severe low moving in for Friday into Saturday, and then generally very unsettled beyond that. And you can see still got that blocking towards Iceland, and still filtering in generally pretty cold air in from the north. This is the latest GM now, which has just come out as well, and again showing pretty horrible signals for next week. Again, generally low pressure at the moment with cold air filtering in from the north. Low pressure dominating into the west, but look at the deepening of those low pressure systems through Tuesday into Wednesday there. And they approach, as we head into Thursday, severe low pressure system, taking more of a northerly track though, which would bring more of the severe impacts further northwards, but probably bringing more widespread severe winds there with those isobars very tightly packed coming in off the Atlantic. That eventually clears, but by day 10, another very deep low pressure system is approaching. Here, probably only the first system would have the potential of being named, as the second system is filling in as it approaches, but regardless would still give lots of rain and lots of gusty winds. Now, the Eastern WF is probably the most severe run today, going with some really intense areas of low pressure. Again, nothing too crazy over the next few days, but low pressure properly arriving by Wednesday to Thursday. Very severe system down towards 950 millibars, it looks there, 952 millibars towards the centre of that low. And then you can see another low pressure systems coming in there as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Only 960 millibars, but look at the tightening of those isobars on its eastern southern flank. We'd be looking at maybe 70 or 80 mile per hour winds from that. These are just the sustained winds, and you can see very strong, especially for coastal areas, as that does move in as we head towards day 10 and just mills around. So not only could it have the very severe instantaneous impacts on approach of very strong wind gusts and very strong weather fronts, but it could hang around, giving lots of showers and the sort of lingering rain like we saw with Storm Babet. So really not good. This could have multiple named storms on this Eastern WF run. Not only having multiple named storms, but lots of heavy rainfall and strong winds. And if we look at the accumulated precipitation, it is pretty ridiculous across Northern and Western Europe, which has been showing up for quite a period of time. Look, all of this pink and purple across Northern and Western Europe, with some of the heaviest rain there towards South Wales, Southwest England, and across the south coast, and again that area across eastern Scotland. Very interesting seeing that. We can actually zoom in further and you can see some of these areas seeing 100 to 200 millimetres of rain, so it could be some massive disruption if this eastern WF comes off. Again, it's still 6-7 days away, but the possibility is remaining and increasing as we get closer to these potential named storms. Now, after you finish by having a look at the ensembles, the latest GFS ensembles, haven't got the 12 o'clock runs out yet, but we've got the 6 o'clock run, and you can see it is extremely unsettled with lots of rainfall over the coming days, and the upper air temperatures are generally cold. No signs of anything drier in the long term. Dubious temperatures are slowly dipping as well, going from 13, 14 degrees over the next couple of days, down towards 8, 9, 10, and 11 degrees by the end of this run. And if we have a look at the sea level pressure, you can see some distinct dips now. You can see the dip through Saturday into Sunday. That's with the potential storms moving in tomorrow evening, thunderstorms, perhaps in places tomorrow afternoon, evening, overnight to Sunday. Pressure rising slightly towards Wednesday, where it's still generally unsettled, but look at the two distinct dips we're seeing here next Thursday and into next Saturday and Sunday, where the pressure from some of these runs is down towards 960, 970 millibars, and even the operational run down into the 950s there for that second system. That's where we're looking at the risk of named storms and some really severe conditions. You can just compare the pressure over the next week or so, unsettled to potentially severely unsettled with these big dips as we head into the first few days of November. Pressure rising beyond that, but still nothing huge in terms of pressure rises, so probably still remaining fairly unsettled. Now, if you look at the Eastern WF ensembles here, temperatures around average, if not slightly below average into the longer term, and again, looking insanely unsettled over the next couple of weeks. Sea level pressure is fairly similar. We've got that little dip as we head into Saturday and Sunday, rising slightly through early next working week, and then we've got this big dip with not much recovery actually through Thursday and Friday, indicating that actually we might see a low pressure system arrive, mill around, and then a secondary low develop within it, whereas the GFS had more two distinct low pressure systems. Again, overall, very similar pattern, but just those little micro details we'll have to iron out over the next few days. But regardless, still looking really quite horrible and severe. So we've got some quite bad rainfall coming up over the next few days, some quite dangerous conditions in places. We've got those yellow warnings through much of the weekend into the start of next working week, but this is just the start of the main course of severely stormy weather. Very unsettled conditions is likely to arrive around next Wednesday, Thursday time. Can't pinpoint the details at this stage, it still is, so we're about 6 days away, but at the moment, unfortunately, it's not backing off. It does look like we're going to see more very heavy rain, more very strong gusty winds, and we could see more widespread yellow and probably even some amber warnings. And again, you can't even rule out a red warning if these models are correct. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Make sure you stay safe and keep up to date with the weather warnings. Of course, I'll keep you up to date with what is going on next week. As we do get nearer the time, we'll have much better confidence. We'll be able to look at it in a bit better detail with those latest shorter range runs like the UKV. As I know, it is a bit frustrating looking at the long range charts. We kind of have to infer the exact surface level conditions. It'll be much better when we can have a look at these short range charts, and that will probably be coming up over the next couple of days, especially for that system through Wednesday and Thursday. So as I said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.